Pasquotank County Sheriff's deputies shot and killed Brown in April while serving a drug-related warrant outside his Elizabeth City home. An emotional goodbye for the man shot and killed by Virginia Beach police last month. The city is demolishing an old Kmart to make way for some big plans that have yet to be finalized. Take a look at the road. You can see the tire marks that lead from the street onto the lawn, and you can see where the car came to a rest. There's remnants, car parts everywhere. This is a headlight. Here's the whistle. It's got a little red light on it to attract attention, and all you have to do is blow on it if you feel unsafe. But the maintenance worker walked into this building right here and somehow fell 30 feet into a dry well. 2 people are in the hospital this morning with life-threatening injuries, and police have been out here all night investigating. Take a look behind me. This is the scene. I'm following some breaking news for you this morning. This large fire at a mobile home in Chesapeake. Newport News Mayor McKinley Price will be administering the COVID vaccine himself today. So give us more information. We'll be sure to update you. Today, the Commonwealth is entering new relaxed COVID restrictions. Here are some of the changes. So first up, capacity for social gatherings in the Commonwealth. Multiple people shot and 2 dead in Virginia Beach. The violence unfolded along 20th Street at the oceanfront and ended with police officers shooting a man to death. 13 News Now has team coverage. We begin with Allie Weatherton live at the scene. Allie, I see officers are still behind you investigating. What's going on? There's a big push for Virginians in underserved communities to get the COVID-19 vaccine. And now some people in the black community say the only way to make that happen is to get black business owners involved. And as Dan mentioned, polls are going to open up here in about 30 minutes or so. And so people are literally down the street now. They are all along the sidewalk. Gas prices are not going to drop anytime soon because of that pipeline shutdown. But AAA says there is no issue with supply. People who don't want to go inside to cast their ballots, all you have to do is wait in your car and election officials will come to you. Right now, the Hampton VA is dealing with an outbreak of COVID-19 among veterans, and employees are concerned about a lack of personal protective equipment. If you haven't voted already, now is really a good time to do it because things are moving smoothly and voting is underway. Ceremonies at veterans cemeteries in Hampton Roads and across the country will be dramatically scaled back. Scott said he wanted to make sure issues on a national level don't trickle down to local post offices like Newport News. Elizabeth City is under a state of emergency right now, and the crowd is peaceful but firm. Everyone here wants to see the body camera video showing the killing of Andrew Brown. You can see dozens of people are gathered in front of the sheriff's office. This is going to become a march, according to demonstrators who are out here right now. They say it's all about justice. Demonstrators in Elizabeth City want one thing.
I want justice for Andrew Brown.
Justice for Andrew Brown and answers about what happened the morning sheriff's deputies shot and killed him. For the 6th day in a row, demonstrators are taking a stand.
And we need to see an arrest. You know, that's going to be the next thing. After they release this video footage, we need to know who was involved. We need to know that they are taking, action and bringing whoever it was, and held accountable.
Elizabeth City Councilman Gabriel Adkins was among the dozens of protesters who say they've known Brown for years.
It almost feels like a close family member that this has happened to.
Everyone feeling a wide range of emotions. A sense of shock that something like this happened in their community, and outrage that someone was killed.
Man, you see this all around the world, and for that to happen here in our little city and to somebody you really know, man, it's unbelievable, man. It's just crazy.
There's also heartbreak that it was someone they knew and loved.
It crushed me, and I just talked to him that morning.
Demonstrators say it's about justice and accountability.
There's no goal to find out what happened because I've been knowing him all his life.
So this doesn't happen again.
Accountability is what we all been talking about, and now it's time for the accountability to take place.
Ultimately, demonstrators say they just want their voices to be heard, and they want that body camera video to be released publicly. I'm live in Elizabeth City. Dana Smith, 13 News Now. Baby Cooper was born 3 weeks ago.
Hey. Yeah.
And staff at Centera went the extra mile to make sure her parents didn't miss anything.
They went
above and beyond.
Yes, above and beyond.
Cooper's dad, William McHenry, is deaf and relies on cued speech and lip reading to communicate. But with all the nurses and doctors wearing face masks, his wife Jennifer said it wasn't easy.
They would talk to me, and then he would kind of just sit and wait, and then I would have to translate to him what they were saying.
So nurses at Sentara sprang into action.
A birth of a child is a very memorable event, and you never forget it. You never forget who was in your room or what was said or how it was said.
Nurse managers Paige Crunk and Reagan Boomer explained Lori, one of their nurses, created these masks with clear mouth coverings to accommodate lip reading.
She said, I've got my sewing machine. If you bring me the materials, I'll see what I can do. I know how to make a mask. So Lori went to work on her sewing machine.
She made enough for all of the McKendry's nurses. It was a moment that brought William to tears.
He came to the door with this, and I was like, wow, they did have to do this, but they did. It was very touching to hear that it was for us.
It's a story that's been shared hundreds of times across social media after Sentara officials posted a photo on Facebook.
We just feel fortunate, in this time to be able to spread a good story when people respond to it or share it with us. It's just
to share with them that we are not alone in this process.
Dana Smith, 13 News Now. Getting ready for a new school year is always a lot of work. But for this second grade teacher in Suffolk, this year there's added stress.
Well, we have a terrible connection. See if it works a little better.
Like a lot of other teachers, Jasmine McDonald is teaching virtually this year. But she has a huge problem that became evident as we tried to do this interview.
Okay, yeah, we're putting our hotspot outside.
McDonald and her fiance, Jacob Sisko, have to use their cell phones as hotspots anytime they need to access the internet.
Although we still are in the city of Suffolk, we don't have access to cable internet.
Sisko says he's called the cable company, but employees there say there aren't enough potential customers in their neighborhood for them to invest in building a network.
That's very frustrating just to see how frustrating she gets with just the fact of the connection.
It's a big headache.
I'll have, numerous kids on a conference at once. It lags pretty bad.
And there's no other option.
It's not like we have a choice. Suffolk is virtual 100%.
She wants parents and the school district to know this is an issue people in Hampton Roads and North Carolina could be facing when kids sign in for their virtual classroom.
It definitely does make my job hard, especially now where it's no longer, I want this. It's I need this in order for my job to happen, or in order for me to educate children.
Dana Smith, 13 News Now.
I ran outside with the flashlight. I said, Pam, the trailer's gone. I was looking for my best friend, Chris, him and his family, and the trailer was gone. His head was busted open, and he was bleeding. So I took my hand and mashed his head right down. I tied his head up with my shirt.
It's a new dawn for Morning Road. For survivors, the memories are still fresh.
Cheetah was out there in the field. Her daughter was over there with a broke leg. Miss Jardine was over there. Phil was over there in the ditch in front of his house.
Workers from Samaritan's Purse and Bertie County Emergency Services are still cleaning the area, collecting large piles of debris, remnants of more than a dozen mobile homes.
Sheila Craig owns this property.
It's hard to come through here and look at it. And I worry that I'm getting used to it.
And Leonard Outlaw lived here with his girlfriend Pamela. They spent the morning sorting through the rubble, salvaging what they could.
And it happened so fast, less than 60 seconds, trailer park was gone.
Bertie County officials set up a PayPal relief fund. Officials say every penny will go towards helping survivors. Over at the donation center, officials say they don't need any more clothing. Instead, they're asking for things like school supplies and hygiene products.
They're saying Bertie strong and we're in Morning Road strong. We're gonna come back. We're gonna be better than we were.
It's a tragedy that brought everyone together.
Everybody put together. Everybody came into one family. And nobody gonna let nobody stay out in this field. I know that much.
In Bertie County, Dana Smith, 13 News Now.